Yo, fuck all that, yo. The Glass Castle, yo, is probably one of the most emotional movies I've ever seen in my entire existence, yo. And that's covering a lot of ground. Everybody did an excellent job in the movie, and Woody Harrelson's character was absolutely stunning. You know what I'm saying? But I'm gonna explain that. Now I don't want to go into full-fledged detail because I want y'all to see it for yourselves. This is just gonna be a review. It's not gonna be a spoiler this time. Well, maybe a little bit of a spoiler. Now, we go by this lady by the name of Janine. She's in New York. She's about to get married to this dude by the name of David. They live in that big city, big life. You know what I'm saying? And then while she's riding the cab home, because David's about to go the other way, she ends up seeing like two people digging through trash. The two people that be digging through trash when she gets back at the house and she's talking to somebody just happens to be her mom and dad. I'm like, the fuck? And then it goes back and forth with the stories of the family. Now, her father, Rex, and her mom, I think her name was Sarah. Now, at the time it was Janine, her sister Lori, and her brother Brian. And at the halfway throughout the story, they end up getting a fourth kid by the name of Maureen. That's another girl. So basically, it's her, two sisters, and a brother. But I'm going to just say this. The father is very eccentric, but he does have some points of what he's trying to get accomplished. But they get kind of blurred the more he starts drinking. Now, we find out right at the jump when she was little and her mom got her to go cook or whatever like that. She had to catch herself on fire. And Janine had to spend time in the hospital and the whole family comes through. And then the doctor talked about she needs some real medical care. And then Rex goes off on the doctor. But right then and there, we found out he was a war veteran. So I'm like, okay. And he already feels like, yeah, the man can't hold us down, you know what I'm saying? We can survive off the trees and the air and off the environment. So take it into consideration, that's his persona leading into all of this. And there's a whole lot of things that take place from there. Traveling all over the place at different spots because he can't keep a certain job. He calls it freedom. It gets to a point in time where he's forced to live back with his mom, who she lives with his brothers and his uncle or whatever. And he didn't want to go back there for reasons I'm not even going to begin to name on here. And there's a whole lot of mayhem and calamity and resentment that leads to the kids eventually end up leaving him. Because it got to a point where he stopped drinking and Janine tried to help him to do that. He ended up getting a construction job where he was supposed to be keeping. But then it ended up failing for him and then, you know. There's a lot of different things that take place in this movie. But I ain't going to keep spoiling it for you. Bottom line is, I can't even do a spoiler on this one. Like, you got to see it for yourself. The Glass Castle, yo, for real. On Netflix. Check that shit out.